When and how did you realize that you were first lesbian and then now you're binary? When and how did you realize
Funny
that?
story. So this was like freshman, sophomore year of high school, and I like had these infatuations with some girls I knew from like orchestra or marching band, and I wrote them poems, not knowing that this was a bad idea and it made them uncomfortable. And eventually, once I realized, I was like, hey, wait, this is not what everyone does to express their feelings and like stuff. I began questioning my sexuality, and then eventually, end of sophomore year, I realized that I like girls. And then, I guess from just watching YouTube videos and stuff at the beginning of junior year, I started questioning my gender, and later that year, I realized I don't identify as male or female.
Are you ever in a situation in which you become uncomfortable with who you are?
Not too often because I've become comfortable with who I am, but in certain situations, like I know when I'm in the weight room for gym, I become very aware of my feminine body and my lack of muscle mass compared to some of the other people lifting with me, and it definitely makes me very uncomfortable.
Do you place importance on how others view you?
Throughout high school, I've realized that it's not as important, and I stopped feeling the need to fit in or to be seen as normal, as society views normal, and I've been able to grow into who I am, and I've come to love who I am, my differences and also my similarities with others. So yeah, I don't place too much importance on how others view me because I love myself.
What do you think of the stereotypes that people have concerning LGBT, and does this affect you in any way?
I'd say that it doesn't affect me too much because whether I embody some of the stereotypes or not, people don't really make me feel like I have to be a certain way, but I do think in general the stereotypes can be very harmful because they pressure people who identify as a certain way to conform to a standard of all others who identify the same way, when in reality everyone's different, everyone expresses themselves differently, and it's not fair to put people in boxes.
If you could go back in time and give advice to your younger self about this, what would you say?
I guess I would encourage myself to not feel like I have to be like everyone else. Not that I was exceptionally conformist at any point in my life, and I would tell myself to be patient, because I know especially questioning my sexuality at the beginning was very difficult because for a while I didn't know, and for human beings who like to fall into black and white categories, the unknown was very scary, and it was hard to be comfortable with the unknown. So I try to tell myself that it's okay not to know, and that with time you'll figure things out, or maybe you won't, but just do what makes you comfortable in the moment.
Do you think that your sexuality defines you?
It is a part of me, but it doesn't define all that I am, because I identify as a Francophile, a person who loves French, so many other things, not just my sexuality or gender, although for someone who's a teenager who this is a big part of our lives, it is, at least for now, a larger part of my identity than it might be in the future.